The invitation to the Thompson family Christmas dinner sat on my desk, the gold embossing catching the morning light in my penthouse office. Not that it was really an invitation. More like a reminder of why I wasn't welcome. Madison, my mother's text read, "Given your current situation, perhaps it's best you skip Christmas this year. We're hosting potential investors and appearances matter." I glanced at the Wall Street Journal on my desk, where Thompson Industries' plummeting stock price made headlines again. My parents' once proud technology company was bleeding money, though they were too proud to admit it. "Miss Thompson." My assistant David appeared at the door. "The acquisition papers are ready. Thompson Industries board just approved the emergency sale. They don't know you're the buyer." I smiled, touching the small USB drive hanging from my neck. My first piece of code written 15 years ago when my parents kicked me out for choosing computer science over joining the family business. "Perfect timing," I said, thinking about how different things were now. While my family focused on maintaining their image, I'd built Eclipse Technologies into a silent giant, operating through shell companies and acquisitions. My phone buzzed again. Another text from my father. "It's really for the best, Madison. These investors are very traditional. Having a daughter who works in coding, it might send the wrong message. If they only knew that their potential investors were actually my companies, strategically positioned to force Thompson Industries into a sale. That their daughter who just codes was about to own their entire empire." "David," I called out, "what time is it in Tokyo?" "Markets just opened there, ma'am. Our Asian division reports Thompson Industries stock is down another 12%. I nodded, remembering Christmas 5 years ago, the last time they'd let me attend. "Your sister Jessica runs our European division," my mother had announced proudly. "While you're still playing with computers." What they didn't know was that by then, I'd already built Eclipse Technologies into a multinational corporation. That their daughter who played with computers was revolutionizing the industry while their company relied on outdated technology. "Should we proceed with the final phase?" David asked, holding the acquisition documents. I looked at the family photo on my wall, taken before I chose my own path. Before they decided success only counted if it followed their rules. "Yes," I decided. "But hold the announcement until Christmas morning. If they don't want me at dinner, they can have breakfast with the news that their company belongs to me." My phone lit up with another message, this time from Jessica. "Sorry, sis. You know how mother and father are about appearances. Maybe next year." I thought about Jessica's position running Thompson Industries' European division, a division that would soon answer to me. About how their precious appearances were about to meet reality. "Next year will definitely be different," I texted back, thinking about how none of them knew that Eclipse Technologies had been systematically acquiring their suppliers, their partners, and now finally their company itself. David cleared his throat. The board meeting minutes just arrived. They voted unanimously to accept the offer from Winter Holding Group. "My holding company," I finished for him. "Did anyone make the connection?" "No," he smiled. "They were too desperate for cash to look closely at who really owns Winter Holdings." I picked up the invitation again, running my finger over the embossed family crest. The same crest that would soon appear on documents announcing their company's new owner. 15 years, I murmured. 15 years since they said I was throwing my life away by learning to code. Now their entire company runs on systems I designed. Not that they know that either. The morning sun climbed higher over the city skyline, reflecting off the glass towers that housed my empire. Somewhere in those towers, my family was preparing for a Christmas celebration I wasn't good enough to attend. "David," I called out as he turned to leave. "Make sure the acquisition papers are delivered precisely at 9 a.m. on Christmas morning. And include a note." What should it say? I thought about all the Christmases I'd missed, all the times they'd chosen appearances over family. "Dear Mother and Father," I dictated, "Merry Christmas. Sorry I couldn't make dinner, but I was busy buying your company. Love, your daughter who just codes." The days leading up to Christmas were a masterclass in watching my family maintain appearances while their company crumbled. Through my network of surveillance and corporate intelligence, I watched them prepare for their exclusive holiday gathering. "Another order of premium champagne for the Thompson residents," David reported, checking his tablet. "Charged to the corporate account, of course. Should I flag it for the audit?" "Add it to the list," I replied, reviewing the latest acquisition reports. along with the new cars they bought last month and that vacation to the Maldives. My phone buzzed. Jessica again. Mother's going crazy planning Christmas dinner. Some big tech mogul is supposed to attend. She says it could save the company. I smiled, knowing the tech mogul was actually my representative, sent to maintain the illusion until Christmas morning. Everything had been orchestrated perfectly, down to the last detail. Miss Thompson. David appeared again. Your parents just authorized emergency bonuses for the executive team. Money they don't have. Let them, I said quietly. Every desperate move just makes our takeover more justified. My screen lit up with another message from my mother. Madison dear, I know you're upset about Christmas, but you must understand. Mr. Xavier from Winter Holdings will be there. He controls the company trying to buy us. We can't have anything unconventional at dinner. If she only knew that Mr. Xavier worked for me, that Winter Holdings was my company, that her daughter who coded unconventional programs now controlled their fate. The intercom buzzed. Ma'am? The final stock purchase just cleared. We now own 51% of Thompson Industries. I leaned back in my chair thinking about Christmas 15 years ago. Technology is just a fad, my father had declared. Real business is about handshakes and tradition. Now their real business was failing while my fad had built an empire. David, I called out, what's the status of their Christmas party preparations? He pulled up the details. 45 guests confirmed. Premium catering ordered but not paid for. 3 vintage wines selected from the corporate cellar. The cellar I now own, I mused. Along with everything else they've taken for granted. My screen showed a live feed from Thompson Industries headquarters. Jessica was in Father's office, probably discussing the European division's latest losses. They still thought they could save the company over Christmas dinner. Should we tell Miss Jessica? David asked quietly. She's always been kinder to you. I thought about my sister who'd chosen the path our parents wanted. Who played by their rules and reaped their approval. No, I decided. She made her choice. Let her learn the truth with everyone else. Another message from Mother. The caterers need final numbers. I assume you understand why we can't include you. Mr. Xavier is very traditional about family businesses. I touched the USB drive around my neck, remembering the code that had started everything. Traditional about family businesses, I repeated softly. Well, Mother, you're about to learn some new traditions. David handed me the final paperwork. Everything's ready for Christmas morning. The lawyers have confirmed our position is unassailable. I reviewed the documents that would reshape my family's legacy. Thompson Industries would be absorbed into Eclipse Technologies, their outdated systems replaced by the ones I'd designed, their traditional methods modernized by the daughter they'd dismissed. One more thing, I said, pulling up the company's personnel files. Have our HR team prepare separation packages for the executive board. Except Jessica, offer her a chance to stay but under new management. And your parents? I looked at the family photo again at their proud, confident faces. They'll keep their titles for now. But make it clear, they answer to the new owner. To me. My phone buzzed one final time. Father. Madison, this silence is childish. You must understand that business requires certain standards. When you've grown up enough to meet those standards, perhaps you can rejoin the family celebrations. I drafted a response but didn't send it. Dear Father, I understand business perfectly. In fact, I understand it so well that I now own yours. Instead, I turned to the Christmas preparations of my own. Not a lavish dinner with fake investors, but a carefully orchestrated revelation that would shatter their illusions forever. David, I called out as he turned to leave. Make sure every detail is perfect for Christmas morning. I want them to understand exactly who they banned from dinner. Christmas morning dawned clear and cold over Manhattan. From my office window, I watched the sun rise over the city I'd quietly conquered while my family clung to their fading legacy. It's time, David announced precisely at 8:55 a.m. The courier is approaching the Thompson residence. Through our surveillance feed, I watched the scene unfold. The Thompson family Christmas celebration was already underway. My parents, Jessica, and their prestigious guests gathered around the massive tree, maintaining their illusion of success for one last hour. Package delivery for Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, the courier's voice crackled through our audio feed. From Winter Holdings. Marked urgent. I watched my father's face light up. He probably thought it was the final partnership agreement he'd been desperately seeking. Instead, it was notification that his company now belonged to his band daughter. David, I called out, initiate protocol eclipse. Across the city, things began to move. The Thompson Industries logo on their building flickered and went dark. Their corporate accounts were frozen. Their executive access cards deactivated. 15 years of planning, executed in perfect synchronization. My phone started buzzing immediately. Jessica, what's happening? All our systems are locked. Mother, Richard dear, why does this paperwork say Madison Thompson is our new owner? Father, this must be a mistake. Get our lawyers on the phone. I watched through the feed as their perfect Christmas morning dissolved into chaos. The tech mogul they'd invited, my representative, quietly excused himself as the truth began to sink in. Ms. Thompson, David appeared with a tablet. Your parents are trying to access the corporate accounts. Should I let them see the transfers? Show them everything, I decided. Let them see exactly what their unsuccessful daughter built while they were busy excluding her. The doorbell camera showed more couriers arriving, each carrying detailed documents about exactly what I owned. The properties, the patents, the subsidiaries. Everything they'd lost while maintaining their precious appearances. Madison. My father's voice shook as he finally called. What is the meaning of this? Merry Christmas, Father, I replied calmly. I believe you're holding the papers that explain everything. Your daughter who, just codes, now owns Thompson Industries. This is impossible, he sputtered. Winter Holdings. Mr. Xavier. All me, I confirmed. Every investor you courted this year, every partnership you sought, every lifeline you grabbed, they all led back to me. To the daughter you banned from Christmas dinner. The security feed showed my mother sinking into her expensive armchair, her face ashen. But you run a small tech company. No, Mother. I run Eclipse Technologies, one of the largest tech conglomerates in the world. The small tech company was just a front like everything else you believed about me. Jessica's voice cut in. The European division, my position, is secure, I assured her, if you want it. But you'll be reporting to me now. Your choice, sister. Just like it was your choice to stay silent when they excluded me. Through the cameras, I watched my parents try to maintain their composure in front of their guests. But the facade was cracking. Their perfectly orchestrated Christmas morning had become a revelation of their greatest failure. Underestimating their daughter. David, I called out, please inform the Thompson Industries board that their emergency meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. In my office. Your office, my father demanded. Now see here, Madison. No, Father. You see here. I pulled up the company financials on my screen. While you were buying champagne with corporate funds, I was buying your company. While you were planning Christmas dinner without me, I was planning your corporate restructuring. The feed showed guests hurriedly departing, leaving my family alone with their new reality. The company cars have been remotely locked, David reported. Their corporate credit cards are disabled. The transition team is in place. My mother's voice trembled. Our Christmas dinner. Our guests. We'll read about this tomorrow, I finished for her. How the daughter you banned from Christmas dinner now owns your company. How your unsuccessful child built an empire while you were busy maintaining appearances. The security feed showed Jessica picking up the acquisition papers, her hands shaking. All this time, you were building this? While you were running their European division into the ground. Yes. I built something real while you all focused on looking successful. My father's voice hardened. You can't do this to your family. Family. I laughed softly. Was it family when you kicked me out for choosing computer science? When you banned me from Christmas for not meeting your standards? When you chose appearances over your daughter? Through the cameras, I watched them absorb the full scope of what had happened. Their company, their legacy, their carefully maintained image. All now controlled by the daughter they dismissed. The board members are arriving, David announced. And the press release is ready. I stood straightening my jacket. Send it out. Let everyone know that Thompson Industries is now part of Eclipse Technologies. That the daughter they banned from Christmas dinner now owns their Christmas tree. Madison, please. My mother tried one last time. We can discuss this. As a family. We could have discussed many things as a family, Mother. Instead you chose to exclude me. Now I'm choosing to run my company. Yes, my company, my way. I watched them on the security feed, surrounded by the trappings of success they could no longer afford. The expensive decorations charged to corporate accounts I now controlled. The prestigious guests fled from their disgraced hosts. One last thing, I added. The corporate apartment you're standing in? I own that too. You have until New Year's to vacate, or start paying market rate rent to your daughter. I ended the call and turned to David. Make sure all their personal belongings are documented. And have security escort them out of the building if they try to remove any corporate assets. And the Christmas dinner they planned? I smiled, touching the USB drive around my neck. Cancel it. They can have dinner in the corporate cafeteria, if they can still afford it. As I prepared to meet the board, I thought about success and failure, about appearance and reality. They had chosen to look successful while failing. I had chosen to succeed while letting them think I'd failed. David, I called out one last time, send them one final message. Merry Christmas from the daughter who wasn't successful enough to attend dinner. You work for me now. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's succeeding so completely that those who dismissed you end up working for you. And sometimes the greatest Christmas gift is showing your family that the daughter they banned from dinner now owns their table.